First, let's make. Let's turn these into scenes. Should I transform? I guess we can do it one by one first before I transform. Okay, so we've got a climbing rope. Not attachment horizontal, vertical, vert, standing. What happened to the music? I feel like I need to rename these. This can be maybe just like post, rope post. Vert, rope post horizontal. Copy this, put it in your scene. Call this rope post this is just yeah, horizontal rope post. Bring it back to 0. Okay. Save this in scenes. We'll save it in objects. Rope post horizontal. Okay. Now we've got rope post vertical. Back to the origin. Call this rope post vertical. Save this. We've got this one. We'll call this rope post horizontal standing. Save that one. Now we've got climbing rope. So copy this. Climbing rope. Bring that back to the origin. Perfect. Now, should I make the rope not as a child of this and I can just honestly, I think I should. Rope not. Copy that. I'll paste it in here. Bring it back to the center and move it up there. Okay. Okay. Now, first thing I want to check is if this climbing rope and the posts look good together. I feel like I already checked this, but let me just double check. So if we have a horizontal post and we want it to connect to this, the rope knot kind of needs to be vertical, doesn't it? Like so. Right, and this would be down right here. Something like that. Yeah. Okay, so I need to make the rope knot just its own separate scene, I think. Cut. Climbing rope knot. There we go. Get back. Like so. Alright. This is climbing rope knot. Got it. Well, maybe I don't need it to be its own scene. Yeah, because I'm always going to have it with the climbing rope, I feel like. Yeah, I don't need it to be on scene. Let me redo that. We'll cut that, put it back in here. As a child of this, though, because we only need one per per scene. Get rid of this. Don't save that. Let's delete that scene. So I don't forget. Climbing rope knot. Delete that. Don't do that scene. Alright. Okay. So this needs to have an area. An area to interact with the player. This needs a collision shape. Okay. Collision shape will be a capsule. Height of 4. And we can transform this area up to 2. Okay. Collision shape radius needs to be like pretty small, maybe like 0.1 for now. Okay, and this will be in layer I should create a new layer for this, I feel like. New layer for interactable objects. Interactable objects. We can put this into layer 4 interact objects, and it's only looking for the player. Yeah. So what I need to happen is when the player enters this area, we need to send the player a signal to go into the climbing state. Correct? Do I want this monitoring for player? Maybe I just want the player collision to be monitoring for this area. No, I think it'd be better to do the opposite. So this monitors for the player to enter it. When the player enters this, it sends a signal to the player to go into climbing state. Should I do that, or should I have the player node looking for the rope, and if it finds the rope, then it goes into climbing state, which would be easier. Let's start making the player climbing state, and maybe it'll come to me. Climb. We're gonna need one for climbing idle, hanging idle. How many animations do I have here? Animation player. We have climb. We have climb idle. We have swing idle and swing. Yeah. Let's do climb first. So climb idle. And climb. And we want to go to climb idle anytime we find the rope. We want it to interrupt idle, we want it to interrupt run, we want it to interrupt jump, we want it to interrupt fall, we want it to interrupt boost idle, crawl, cartwheel. Yeah, we want this to interrupt everything. So we can, in here, in the out of menu compounds state, physics processing, if like if on rope or something like that, right? If we have a variable called on rope. Yeah, because we want to send a signal, or we could just change the variable. If on rope, state chart dot send event, climb. On vert rope. Var on vert rope bool horizontal rope. Bool equals false. Although, do I even need these? Because what if I just have the player looking for the rope? Like I could just have an area in the player and like on area entered. Now the issue with that though is it might find different interactable objects. Like what if the area interacts with different objects that aren't a rope? Oh, we could put it in a group though. Yeah, I could put this in a group. Global group. I could add a global group. Climbing rope. Or climbable. Climbing rope. Do I need spaces for groups? Climbing rope. So this area is not looking for the player. It's just in that. It's just in the interactable objects layer. And then in the player script, we can have an area searching for climbing rope. I think that'd be easier. Climbing rope area. Oh wait, back here we can say that this is not monitoring. This is not monitoring. And here, this is not monitorable. Terrain, coal shape. Climbing rope area will have a climbing rope coal shape. And we'll move this maybe like up here. And this shape can be just a sphere with a radius of 0.1. Maybe 0.25. This is looking for interactable objects. Okay. And then we can say on area entered. Then we can just go straight to state chart dot send. Oh, but then what about the horizontal and vertical? Maybe I do need to just send a signal. Yeah, because how would I know if it's a vertical or not? Okay, so I think my previous idea was better. Don't need this. I still need the collision shape. And this is actually monitorable. It's not monitoring. It's in layer 2. Looking for interactable objects. And then over here, this area is monitoring. It's not monitorable. And it's looking for players. And I don't need a group, I don't think. Delete group. Yeah. Okay. And then I will have a variable for vert rope and horizontal rope. And then out of menu state physics processing, if on vert rope, state chart descent event climb. If on horizontal rope, state chart dot send event swing. All right. Let's move this up here. Save it. We have climb idle. Okay, and then Out of menu, this can transition to climb idle. Yeah. On event climb idle to climb idle. Back in here, I need to change this to climb idle and swing idle. Okay, so that will go to climb idle, and then climb idle can go to climb. This is going to climb on event climb. Okay. So this should interrupt everything. Then we need a climb idle state. Let's get a physics processing in there. State physics processing. We want to slow momentum, right? Slow momentum is velocity.x lerp f, velocity.z lerp f. Yeah. Actually, we don't want to slow momentum, we just want it to be straight up 0. So velocity.x.y and .z equals 0. .x equals 0.0. Velocity dot y equals 0.0 and velocity dot z equals 0.0. Move and slide. So once I hit the rope, we should stop. Let's test that. So let's go here. Let's move the player down here a little bit. Okay. And then let's add a climbing rope. Climbing rope scene. You know what, let's just bring the player to the center. There we go. Climbing rope there. So once I hit the rope, I should stop. That's what I'm testing right now. Stop in our tracks. Does not recognize the collision. Did not recognize the collision. Why did it not recognize the collision? Oh, I didn't send the signal. Yeah, this needs to have a script. And this needs to just be on event area entered. Climbing rope area should belong to group players. Okay, so on area entered, if area dot is in group players, then global dot player node dot on vert rope equals true, right? Is this supposed to be without quotations? No. And honestly, I think that's all we needed to do. So I can get rid of this. Alright, let's try it now. So when I get close to the rope, I should stop in my tracks. Yes. Okay. Perfect. We're in climb idle. Let's create the animation. So in player, I need another signal. Signal climb idle, and the signal for climb. Okay. Climb idle dot emit. And we need this signal to be captured by the skin animation scene. Show, oh, and we need it here as well. Climb idle val, climb idle val. Global dot player node dot climb idle dot connect on climb idle. Func on climb idle. Current anim equals climb idle. Okay. Let's add it to the animation tree. Climb idle. We need a blend. We call climb idle blend. idle anim. Okay. Connected. Alright, where was I? Climb idle's hooked up. We have it set to climb idle, so now we need to animation tree. Just a little bit. Animation tree. The climb idle blend equals climb idle val. Okay. Let's add it to the blend animations. Climb idle. We need all of these. And then we need a climb. Wait, this needs to be 0. Climb idle val equals lerp f. Climb idle val to 1 at blend speed times delta. Okay. And then when we're not climbing, all of this needs to be 0. Climb idle, throw idle here, and 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 finally here. Okay, so we should see the animation now. Let's try that out. Should see the climb idle animation as soon as I get close to this row. Boom. There we go. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so there's gonna be some issues with that. I'm gonna have to make the player like face the rope. How do I make the player face the rope when it gets in range? Okay. I'm on the rope. Now let's do the climb animation. Or should I work on how to face the rotation of the rope? instead of a variable, we should just have a function, because we're gonna have to like store the rotation and stuff. Let's do that. So we'll have a function. Function to climb vertical rope. Wait, you know what? Before that, I need to be able to jump off. Let's do a jump, or like from climb idle to jump, right? To jump, so that I can actually hop off the rope. To jump. On climb idle, if input dot is action just pressed, jump. Then we want to state chart dot send event jump. Okay. So now I can get out of the rope, ideally. Oh wait, and then we need to the jump is velocity y equals stat jump velocity. We need to on vert rope equals false. Yeah. Click on, jump, there we go. Cool. Okay, now I can mess around with the direction. Because like if I'm here, and I walk this way, that's gonna look really weird. I need to like face the rope. So I need to store the rotation of the rope. Or what do I need to do? But what if I just have the player look at the rope? Yeah, what about like the look at? The look at command. Either way, we need a function, so function to climb vertical rope. Func climb vert rope. And we need a parameter a vector rope position, which is going to be a vector 3. Or vector 2. Vector 3, vector 3. And then in here, we want to, instead of this, we want to global.playerNode playerNode dot climb vert rope with its global position, right? Rope position equals rope position times vector 3 1 0 1. Is that right? Why am I forgetting my vector math? The dot product returns a scalar, no. Cross product return a new vector. You know what, let's just try it like this first. Without that. And then I want to self, or no, we want to skin, what's the skin? Skin dot look at target, look at rope position. Target. I wonder if this would work. Not quite. Look at, how do I flip it? Vector 3010, use model front, true. Vector 3 0 1 0 and true. Right, because this is false by default. Okay. Yes, look at that. I think I did it. No way. Is it as easy as that? Yeah, perfect. Wait, that's actually perfect. No way I just did that. I usually have so much issues with vectors, but I just did that like so well. I'm proud of myself. Let's see if I can try to break this. No, we're facing the rope the entire time. Look at that. Okay, so that's good. Now, we want to look at it. We want to invert rope, and then we could say input.getVector up and down, or input So first of all, let's get rid of these variables I don't need, because here we're calling climbvert rope with its global position. And then we could just say when this function is called, we go to state chart. Yeah. State chart dot send event climb idle. Let's call this onvert rope. Onvert rope. So in here we'll say it's onvert rope. Onvert rope. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of those variables. We'll have a function instead. So onvert rope, we go to climb idle. Don't need this, but I do need this still. This to climb idle, yeah. Goes to jump, okay. Okay, that's some good players, we still need that. Then we don't need this. If we jump, don't need that. We could just go to the jump and let's cut this and put it in here. Redo that. question. If I have, let's try this out. If I have climb idle state entered, this is a function for a signal. Can this function be called by another node? Like, what if I... No, that wouldn't work, that wouldn't work. On vert rope, state chart 7, climb idle. Skin dot look at rope position vector 3 0 1 0 true. Climb idle dot emit velocity 0 move and slide. I was wanting to put this in that function, but I need delta. Wait, no I don't. Oh no, I do need it enough for just processing. Okay. Send event jump. When we go to jump, then we jump up, and this is only on enter, so that should work still, I think. Let's see. Okay, jump, route, yeah, jump. Okay. That's an issue. Why is that happening? look at rope position. Look up forward z-axis, points towards the target position. I want the y coordinate to be the okay, yeah, so I want, okay, var target position, var, or just var target equals vector 3 rope position dot x, and then skin dot global position dot y, right? And then rope position dot z. That way the y coordinate won't be changed. And we're looking at the target. Okay, that still works. Yes, look at that. I don't have that issue anymore. I'm not looking down anymore. It's kind of hard to catch this rope. I'm gonna have to adjust that, I think. So that's easier to catch the rope. Okay. Alright, we have that figured out. Another bug done. Just like that. That's good. What was I gonna do? So we have a, okay, let's review really quick. So when we enter this area, it calls onvert rope, okay, with its global position. Onvert rope goes to climb idle, and it looks at the rope. Climb idle immediately sets the velocity to 0. Looks to see if we're jumping, and then it also needs to look to see if input dot is action just pressed up or down. Up, or input dot is action just pressed down. Then we want to state chart dot send event climb. And this is going to climb, right? Yes, to climb. All right, climb state. Let's do climb state. Climb state physics processing. So call this climb state. We want to climb.emit first of all. And let's set up the animations. Oh, we can this just be pressed here as well. Is action pressed, not just pressed. Right, same as this. Same as this, yeah, like the crawling and idle and running. Okay, so climb.emit, let's set up the animations. So here we need to add climb to the enum. We need to create a variable for climb. We need to connect to the signal. Dot climb dot connect on climb. Okay. Climb dot connect on climb. Down here, func on climb. Current enum equals climb. Okay. Let's add climb to the animation tree. Animation. This is going to be our climb animation. Climb enum. And blend to, this will be climb blend. I feel like I'm such a bad typer. I make so many errors. Oh my god. Come on. Boop. Boop. Okay. It's hooked up. Animation tree. Climb blend. Boop. Equals climb val. Finally, let's add it to the blend animations. Climb. We need all of this. This goes to 0. And climb val is going to lerp from climb val to 1 blend speed times delta. Copy. Paste. Should be a 0. Copy. Climb 1 blend speed times delta. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Just want to double check before I paste it everywhere. Here, and we'll paste it 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 here, and here, and here, and here, and here. There we go. Okay, climb is hooked up. The animation's hooked up at least. Let's work with the actions. So when climb state is physics processing the climb.emit, and then we need to well, we need to move and slide, that's for sure. We need to Kind of similar to running, so like var input val, right? Yeah, input dir input dot get axis, I think. Var input dir equals input dot get axis, right? And get axis is just negative action, positive action. And it should be down and up. Down and up. Yeah, down and up. Wait. Negative, positive. Negative, positive. We have up as negative? Huh. That's weird. Why do we have up as negative in the get vector? That confuzzles me a little bit. I guess it's completely different though, because we're going in 3D space. This one we're just going up and down. Okay, I don't need to worry about that. Okay, var input dir equals input get axis up, down and up, and then we need to var direction equals, just need to the velocity dot y. Yeah, we're just moving on the y-axis. Velocity dot y equals input dir times a speed times climb speed. Let's define climb speed. Const climb speed. Maybe 3.0. Because input dir, velocity.y is input dir, so down is negative, so it would be a -1 times our climb speed. And we would collide with the floor. Yeah. On rope. Let's try it out, I guess. Let's see if that worked. Okay. Except we're gonna be able to do that, yeah. And I can't jump off now. Oh, that's because I haven't made the state. Okay. So climb needs to go to jump. And it needs to go to climb idle. To climb idle. And to jump. To jump. Oh, and just to idle. to idle. If we fall off the rope. So this is going to idle, on event idle. This is going to climb idle, on event climb idle. This is going to jump, on event jump. Every time we go to... Wait, no, I don't need to do that. Okay, so first to jump. Kind of the same thing as this. Copy, paste that in there. So if input is action, just press jump, we go to the jump. Here we need to say if input dir is not equal to 0. Then we do this. And then we should do else state chart dot send event climb idle. Okay. Okay, let's see if that works. So now I should be able to go between climbing and climb idle. Yep, so climbing, not climbing. Okay. Here we have the skin looking at. And here we have the skin back low rotation. Okay. Okay. Good so far. Now I need to say if I exit the rope area, then I need to be sent into the idle state. So that's going to be in here somewhere on area exited, right? On area exited. Oh no. When did I last save? I just played it, so we should be good. Let's just double check. Yeah, okay. We're good here. Okay, so here on area exited, on area 3D, area exited, if area that is in group players, hello Daddy, players that is in group players, player node, and then should have another function, off vert rope, I suppose. Call that function off vert rope. And then we'll have a function in the player node called off vert rope that'll make us fall off. I suppose. Oh yeah. Alright, let's make that function. Where are my functions? Right here. Function to fall off vertical rope. Func off vert rope. So here I want to state chart to send event idle. And that should work because I will be in the idle state and it has a transition to idle. Yeah. True idle. Alright. Let's just try that out. See what happens. See if there's anything that needs fixing. So we're on the rope. And if I go up, we fall off. Yeah. Okay. I think we're good. Kind of like fall off a bit. Okay. If I jump off of it. Jump, fall, okay. It really goes to fall pretty quickly. Is there a way I can check to see what state we're in? State chart that what are the methods for state chart? What's up, Dottie? Just print state and physics function. So, okay, yeah, so the issue I'm trying to solve right now is so when I get on the rope, and then I jump off of it, I want to be able to actually like launch myself off of it, but what's not allowing that to happen is here in the climbing rope scene, it's every time we exit the area, it calls that function that sends it to the idle state. So it basically cuts the jump short, I think. So I want to be like, I wonder if there's a way I can check, like I want to be able to check in here if we're in the jump state. Like if we're in the jump state, then we don't go to idle, you know? Like is there a way with the state charts to be able to check if you're in a certain state already? Is there a way to check? Is there a way to check what state we are in? Like, is there a method or code for that? Like, is there like a get state? I mean, I could just create a variable. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I can print it, but I need to actually, I need to put it in a Boolean. Like I need to be like if state chart, right? If state chart dot get state is equal to jump, right? Then, or if it's not equal to jump, then I want to do this. Is basically what I'm trying to get at. But get state is not a valid. Get state isn't like I'm looking to see if get state is a thing in state charts, but it doesn't look like it. How do I check what state we're currently in the state chart? And how can I use that in a Boolean expression is my question. Gets are just the output, so print the output. I don't, but printing the output to the console does nothing for me. Printing print state chart. Wait. State chart dot event, is that a thing? Let me see. Print state chart dot event. Is that a thing? Print state chart.event. State chart.event is a thing though? Let me try it. No, it's not a thing. I can't just print state chart.event. Yeah, there's no key or property event. It's not a thing. Let me look it up really quick. Is there a way to check what state you are in? What state the state chart is in Godot state charts? Get current state. Yeah, state chart event isn't a thing, so I have to look at a different way. I wish there was something that was just like get current state or something like that. Let's see what Google said. There's no get current state method. Alright, go back. State chart, get current state. Walking. Use the signals and tools that Atom gives you to do what you want. Create a custom state that finishes when navigation finishes. What are you saying? Thing is a value. Gets aren't really a thing. You kind of just print the thing. I mean, they are, but most are built into functions. So print the value in your signal. When the signal fires, print it in there. Not really following how that's going to help me with this. I mean, I could just do it with a variable. I mean, maybe that's kind of what you're getting at. And the on exit signal. On area 3D, area exited, you want me to print what value? Print what? What value are you talking about? Yeah, that's the issue. Is the state chart won't tell you the state. This add-on, it won't tell you the state it's in. It's an add-on that I'm using. It's not my own state chart. I can't just like do print. can't do print state chart dot state, you know? That won't work. I think I'm just gonna have to use a variable. I mean, that's fine, I guess. Like I can just say like like a variable for jumping. Like if I jumped, then I can say jump equals true if jump is equal to true, or if jumping is not equal to true, then we can go to idle, right? And then if I jump, I can set that variable equal to true. I could do that. That's fine. I was just wondering if the state chart actually had something like that, but it looks like it doesn't. Yeah, so let's just, I'm just gonna see if this works. Jumping not equal to true, I can have a variable called jumping var jumping bool equals false. And then when I jump on jumping state entered, I can say like jumping equals true. And then like jumping exited, jumping equals false, something like that. I'm still running the game, oops. Yeah, is jumping would be better, right? Let me just see if this works though. So we're on, and then if I jump off, is that the same or is it different? Is that springing up more? Oh yeah, that's definitely springing up more, right? Yeah. Can't really tell. Maybe it was fine. Let's comment this out. No, it definitely cuts it short, yeah. So this was the difference. Right. Yeah. It was a big difference. Okay. Now I kind of want to make it where like if I'm holding the right arrow and I hit jump, I like spring off instead of just kind of like falling off, you know? So I might end up changing this anyway. Yeah, apply force or something like that. I've never used apply force in Godot. How does that work? Oh, that's not a built-in function. Or is it like apply impulse or something? Does that have to be... it's not a function for a character. Oh, it's rigid body stuff. It doesn't look like it's a function for a character body. What do we got here? I mean, it'd just be velocity again. It'd just be like a velocity in the x direction or something like that. Just like the jump. Character body's movement uses velocity. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do it. So like when we're in climb state and I press jump, should I add another state for jump off rope? So I could store the, like I could do var input equals get axis left, right. I can store that, and then I could call maybe a function called jump off rope. Okay, I think I got a good idea of what I could do. So we can have a function called function to jump off vertical rope. Func jump, or would it just be in the off vert rope probably? Yeah, it could be in here, I think. I don't need a new function. It can be in the off vertical rope. And then we can call that function, because this function is only being called by this right now. Off vert rope, and I can call it in here as well. It could be like, if input to this action just press jump, state chart descending event jump. And also we can call the function func or off vert rope, and it should have a parameter with the axis of left and right. Like it could be like impulse direction, var impulse direction. Impulse dir var impulse dir equals input dot get axis of left and right, We call off vert rope with impulse dir. When we jump off of it, so up here in the function, off vert rope, we also want to if, oh wait, we need impulse dir in here. Impulse dir. If impulse dir is not equal to, or we don't need to check that. We can just say velocity dot x, or it's gonna have to be, we're gonna have to calculate direction. Yeah, it's gonna have to be something like this actually. Get vector. Vert rope. And we could say var input dir get vector direction dot rotated if direction. So all of this basically. If direction velocity.x equals direction times speed. Don't need this. Times 1 speed. Did that work? Let's see if this impulses us off. We jump. Yes! Look at that. So we have a vertical jump and a impulse off. Much better. So now I can kind of like jump from rope to rope. Perfect. That worked out really well. Now if I just jump, there's no impulse, yeah. Go this way. Goes down, like that, okay. And if I go up and jump, it goes like that. Sweet. Vert rope. Wait, I don't even need to call this here because I'm being called, it's being called by being called by this. Yeah. Whenever we exit. So I don't need to call it here. Cool. Nice. They go up. What happens? Go up. Okay. That kind of works too. Wait, what happened there? What happened there? What? What happened there? How did that happen? I can't do it again. Did you see that? Did you see that, Dottie? What happened the first time? I don't know why I can't replicate that anymore. Oh, you missed it? It was like, here, let me run it again. It was a weird bug. Like I was climbing, and if I like keep like stuttering up. Yeah, it's not doing it anymore. It would like keep like stuttering up off the rope. It was weird. It only happened once. I can't seem to replicate it. Oh, did I do it again? Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the bug. Look. Why is that happening? What? And it only happens when I like stutter the up. If I go back down or on, but if I just go up like that, we fall off. But sometimes when I stutter up, it does this. Oh yeah. Go for a trip. Just keep going. Climb on an invisible beanstalk. I still jump off. That's good. Guess I need a little bit more testing. I don't think it's an issue with the area 3D. It's an issue with me changing states. So I'm gonna have to go. Let's follow this step by step. So on climbing rope entered, we go to onvert rope, right? So onvert rope is sending us to climb idle and rotating the skin to look at the rope. Okay, and then climb idle is setting the velocity to 0. Climb idle can only go to jump and climb. If we go to climb, we can go up and down. Else we just go back to climb idle. And put that as action press jump. We go to jump. And what's happening in jump? In jump, jumping equals true. Jump up with the velocity. You have gravity. And jumping is false when we exit. So it's skipping the area exited for some reason when I stutter that. When I stutter the up. Or it's missing this if jumping is not equal to true. What state am I in when I'm doing that? Going climb idle. Didn't do it that time. Didn't do it that time. Didn't do it that time either. It's like just very occasionally it'll do it. There we go. So we're in climb idle. Just going between climb and climb idle. So it's not registering that we're off the rope. That's weird. It's not registering that we exited the area, or that the area exited the rope. Because if it did, then it would give us an impulse. What if I just did like else state chart dot send event idle? Or maybe to jump would work better since jump is already a part since both climb idle and climb have a transition to jump. Maybe this would work better. Let's see if I can get that error again. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. I think I fixed it, yeah. Because it's instead jumping up instead of stuttering up, so I think that's the error right there, yeah. Cool. think we're good on that. Things smooth. I think the only thing I want to add is I think I want to make it easier for the player to actually like interact with the rope. In fact, I might make it where the player actually has to like click F to grab the rope when they're in range. I don't know, maybe. I'm gonna leave it like this for now. Okay. That was good. That was good. Don't want to do anything else right now. I'm getting a little tired. One thing I could check is if I added multiple ropes on top of each other. Let's do that. Let's go here. Let's add another climbing rope on top of this. So I'll duplicate this and let's bring it up like so. Let's see how this works. Or if this is going to give me errors. I mean, hopefully it'll just work perfectly. But it never does. Alright. Okay, yep. That's what I was expecting. A bunch of more errors. So... okay, it worked there. So I think I'm gonna have to adjust the climbing rope scene so that instead of this just being a duplicate climbing rope, if I like add another climbing rope, then it just like automatically adjusts the collision shape. I think that would be the easiest way to fix this. Yeah, I think that'd be the easiest way to fix this. Whoa. So let's see. In the climbing rope scene, I could have an exported variable, like the multiplier. So in here we can have like var size is a int set at 1. Oh, at export var size int. Alright. Alright, so here, okay, so I have a size, and if I increase the size to 2, we can like double the height of the collision shape. So if I increase it to 2, it's multiplied by 2. If I increase it to 3, it's multiplied by 3. But then I'd also have to move the area 3D. Or what if I transform this down? Move the collision shape up. And collision shape can be transformed. 4 with a 2. Okay, so I need an onReady function. Func, what is it? Ready? Func ready. And here, if or collision shape 3D dot height. Is that a property of it? Collision shape dot height. Yeah. Height equals collision shape 3D dot height times the size. And then collision shape 3D dot position dot y position dot y equals collision shape dot position dot y also multiplied by the size. And then I also need to add a child. I needed to add another rope child. Just make sure that doesn't give me any errors right now. Oh. Height on a base object of type collision shape. Wait, what? Why can't I access the height? Is it dot shape dot height? Dot shape dot height dot shape dot position dot y, or no, just position dot y dot shape dot height. Maybe that. Yeah, okay. I mean, I didn't do anything. I just wanted to see if that was giving me any errors. Looks all good. Okay, so we have an exported variable for the size. We multiply the height and the position by the size, right? So for example, if the climbing rope knot was doubled and I put 2 in for here, the shape should be multiplied by 2, so it should go to 8, right? And then the position should also be multiplied by 2, so it should go to 4. And then that would have been perfect right there. If it was multiplied by 3, it would be 4 times 3 or 12. And then this would be 2 times 3, which is 6. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so that would work. Put this back at 2 and put this back at 4. And then I just need to change it so that the rope actually doubles. How can I do that? I also want to change this to 4, so the default to 4. Whoa, what happened to my music? That's weird. Okay, yeah, so let's just set this to 4. Oh no, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so if this doubles, I need to add child. I basically need to duplicate this. And add another child. Which I've never done before. Let me look that up really quick. How to duplicate a current child. Current mesh. Current child of a node through code in Godot. Reference the child called duplicate method and then add that clone back into the scene tree using add child. Where clone child equals node and duplicate. Add the clone as a child of the current node. Or we could just keep adding the mesh. I could keep instantiating the mesh. I could loop through the amount. Okay. Doing big brain stuff right now, big brain stuff. Okay, so... Wait, let's see. Wait. Node equal get child. Okay, so I'm gonna have a node called ropes. Ropes. This needs to be in here. And then we can have a reference to that node, or ropes. And then we can say var rope mesh equals ropes dot get child at 0, and then we duplicate it, I think is what Google was saying. Original child, get child, duplicate the node. Var clone child equals node equals original child dot duplicate. Add child, clone child. Okay. for wait. While I is less than size. I have not used while loops much in Godot because it's usually, everything usually runs in the process. So if size is 1, it wouldn't even run 1, so less than or equal to size. Wait, what? While... What's the syntax for a while loop in Godot? I don't think I've ever used a while loop in Godot. That's kind of crazy. I think I just need to start I. Okay. Var count 0. Okay. Because count starts at 0. While count is less than size, we want to ropes.addChild ropes.getChild at 0 dot duplicate, like that. I don't need this. Ropes.addChild ropes.getChild at 0 dot duplicate, something like that. Oh, but then I need to set the position. So I did need that actually. Var new rope equals rope mesh dot duplicate. Then we need to add the child. So new rope, oh wait, no. Add new rope. And then new rope dot position dot y equals equals its position times 4, right? Equals its position, or is it plus 4? Plus 4. Just do plus equals 4. Why not? Okay. Did I do it? Let's review this before I try to run it. So, okay. So we have climbing rope, position is 0, 0, 0. The area is also 0, 0, 0. Collision. Wait. The area should be. The Where is that? Okay, that's fine. Whatever. So when this runs, it takes the size, multiplies the collision shape height by the size, and multiplies the position dot y by the size. Let's double check that. So for example, if it was 2, the height would now be 8. And then the position would go to 4. Yeah, so that would work. And then here, we duplicate for while count is less than size. So if wait. While count is, we want to set count at 1 because I don't want to duplicate it if the size is only 1. So if the size was 2, then it would run once. It would duplicate the rope mesh. It would ropes.add child, new rope position.y plus equals 4. Okay, so let's try this in our main scene. Let's delete this rope and let's set this size equal to 2 and see if it works. So this should put 2 ropes on top of each other. What's happening, Godot? Do I have an infinite loop? It must be an infinite loop. Why did that while loop? Okay. Why is that while loop infinite? How did this create an infinite loop? I need to check that while loop. Oh, I forgot to increase the count by 1. That's why it's an infinite loop. Okay. Come on. Rookie mistake. Did it save this to 2? Yeah, okay. Go in here, I need to do count plus equals 1. Yeah. Count plus equals 1. There we go. Now it shouldn't be an infinite loop. Rookie mistake. Okay. Hey, look at that. Let's see if the climbing works. It does. Look at that. Cool. Let's try it with 4 ropes. So I can go here, I can increase the size to like 4. And now when we run it, we should have 4 ropes. We don't. Oh, you know what? It put 4 ropes stacked on top of each other. So it's here, new rope position dot y plus equals 4 times the count, I think. If the count is 1, count is 2, yeah. Okay, let's try now. Yeah, I've you don't use while? Yeah, I have never used a while loop in Godot. Because usually everything just runs in the process function. So it's very rare that you actually use loops when you're doing game dev, I feel like. Hey, look at that. We got 4 ropes on top of each other. And the collision all works. Cool. Got climbing rope. Nice. Yeah, so I just still need to make it where it's a little bit easier to grab the rope, I think. But other than that, it looks good. Cool. I'm gonna change this to rope count so it's a little bit more specific. Okay. I think my earbuds are running out of power. I keep cutting off. Oh, no, 36%. Alright. Anything else you should comment? What's this doing again? I think this is good. Let's go to here. So I still have this jumping variable that I don't really like. Let's see what happens if I comment this out. That happens when I comment shit out. Noted. Let's bring that back then. That's fine. That's fine. Jump state. Jump into false. Okay. Alright. Good stuff. Good progress. Alright, I'm gonna end stream. Thanks for tuning in, Dottie. It's good to see you. Thanks for your help again, Dottie. You always help out. Have a good evening.